Hey everybody, Bryson here, and I am back for another episode of For Love of the Mouse. And today, I'm going to give you my 5 tips to have an excellent Walt Disney World trip. Before we dive on in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. And if you hit that subscribe button, you might as well hit that bell icon so you're notified on Mondays and Fridays when we release new videos. And while you're watching this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button so that we know you liked what you were watching. And most of all, don't forget to comment down below. We really enjoy interacting with everyone who watches our videos, so please feel free to leave a comment. All right, my 5 tips for an excellent Walt Disney World trip. These are my 5 tips. You don't have to follow them, but here is the 5 tips I give to everyone to make sure you have a great time. For these 5 tips, I'm going to assume that you have already downloaded the My Disney Experience app, because if you have booked a trip to Disney, you have probably gotten a ton of mail telling you to download it. So I'm assuming you downloaded it. Now, a lot of people differ on this one, and we might be in the minority here. Now, it's up to you if you want a rope drop or not, but my suggestion is to make sure you get your fast passes done early. Now, why I say that is because we are park hoppers. We go in between the parks throughout the day. We may go to 2, maybe 3 different parks in one day at a time when we go to a trip, because we try to maximize our trip as much as possible. If you're going to stay in one park, it still could benefit you as well. So what you do is you get your 3 fast passes done. How I do it, let's say we go on Haunted Mansion right away. As soon as we get in line and I've scanned our magic bands, I'm trying to modify my second fast pass to get another one as soon as we get off. So let's say as soon as we get off of Haunted Mansion, we have a Pirates of the Caribbean fast pass waiting. So we head on over to Adventureland, we get on Pirates of the Caribbean. Once again, as soon as we scan our magic bands, I'm trying to modify that 3rd fast pass. I find that 3rd fast pass. As soon as we get off Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe we head over to Splash Mountain and we ride Splash Mountain. Well, guess what? More times than not, because it's early in the day, we've already used our 3 fast passes. And now you can book 1 more. Now, saying 1 more means you can only book 1 at a time. So if we get off Splash Mountain, maybe at this point we're hungry, we get something to eat. While we're eating, I can look for another fast pass. And as soon as you scan your magic bands, at that checkpoint, you can begin looking for another fast pass. This is the way Crystal and I have done it so that we don't have to wait in lines. As we've stated numerous times, we don't like waiting in lines. I don't like waiting in lines mainly. All right, number 4. If your budget allows you to, you need to stay on property. Now, I say that because 1, it's magical to stay on property. From the values to the deluxes, the resorts are beautiful. They are phenomenal. You also get the Disney transportation, and I don't mean the buses and everything in between. That comes too, but the Magical Express. There is something about the Magical Express when it takes you from the airport and you go through the big Walt Disney World sign and you drive on in. There's just something about it, watching that video that I've probably seen a ton. There's just something about Magical Express that makes it great. Plus, I don't have to handle any of our luggage. All I have is my backpack, Crystal's bag, and we're done. Our bags are going to show up in our room when we get there later, and it's going to be amazing. Then, when it's time for us to check out and go home, we just go downstairs. They have an airport check-in counter. You literally check in for your plane, check your bags right there. They take them, you get on the Magical Express, or as we call it, the Not So Magical Express, and you head home to the airport. That right there, I feel, is a huge benefit to staying on property, because you can stay on property like we did at the Wyndham Bonnet Creek Resort, but you don't get that Magical Express experience. And let me tell you, it is super convenient to not have to drag around our giant suitcase while we're there. Number 3, we just brought this up on the Disfluencers Podcast that we were recently on. I'll put a link down below about it. But mobile ordering. Mobile ordering is huge. When we were on that podcast being interviewed, we were talking with Brandy and Dave about how mobile ordering is basically a fast pass to the food line. It is. It's great. Now, even at somewhere like Woody's Lunchbox that is crazy popular with mobile ordering, you still get your food quicker than if you were to wait in that line. So what you do is you get on your My Disney Experience app, which once again, I've assumed you've downloaded. You click on order your food. You pick what restaurant you want. You go through all the questions, everything. You order your food just like you would if you were on like Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that. Then it's going to tell you to let us know you're here. So they're going to want to know when you're there so they can start making your food. They don't start making it as soon as you order it. They wait for you to tell them you're there. Because something like a Dole Whip, if you ordered it when you were in Tomorrowland and then said you were there and you walked all the way over there, in Florida it'd probably be melted. So you sit there, you wait for a little bit, and they're going to call your name. You go up, you get your food, and everybody that's in the regular food line stares at you like, how did that happen? But you knew about mobile ordering, so you fast passed the food line. Now let's say you're getting ready for your first trip to Florida and you don't know about this. This is a big tip for newcomers. Bring a rain poncho. It's gonna rain. I mean, it's not might gonna rain, it's gonna rain. And when it rains, more than likely it's just gonna be 15-20 minute pop-up storm and it's gonna move through. But if you have your rain poncho, if it starts looking like rain, it's probably gonna rain. So throw it on, and while everybody's running for cover, you can run and go ride rides because nobody's waiting in line while it's raining. So the wait times go down drastically. Now, a ride like Test Track, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, something outside, that's probably not going to be operating if it's raining good enough, so be prepared for that as well. And also, if you want the souvenir, go buy the Disney poncho. That's fine. Disney makes a killing off their ponchos. Crystal and I, we buy $1 ponchos on Amazon, and I buy them in a 16-pack. They are the same consistency as a grocery sack at your grocery store. We take them off, and they are recyclable, so we put them in the recycling bin. So with that rain poncho, it allows us to keep enjoying our trip, and we're not going to let a little bit of rain ruin our time. Now, this is my number one tip for people who have been going to Disney World for years, or somebody who was nice enough to find this video and start watching it for the first time as you are planning a trip to Walt Disney World. You're going to step back, take a breath, and just soak it in. Because if this is your first trip to Walt Disney World, it's more than likely it's going to be a little bit before you can go again. We find ourselves having to take a step back and just remember where we are. Remember that you are in Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth. Whatever you pretty much want to do is available to you. Now, it gets hectic, it gets crazy. There's fast passes, dining reservations. Do I do mobile ordering? Oh my gosh, is that a rain cloud? But just remember, you and your loved ones that you've traveled with are in the most magical place on earth. So again, step back, take a breath, and soak in all of Walt Disney's magic. So there's my 5 tips on having an excellent Walt Disney World vacation. Again, those are my 5 tips. Let me know what your 5 tips are down below. Let me know what one of your main tips are. Tell me what you make sure you do every time to make sure you have the best Walt Disney World trip you can possibly have. Well, that's going to wrap things up for today. I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching this video. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we release a video on Mondays and Fridays. And if my tips possibly could help you, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you like the video. And again, thank you folks for watching. And most of all, never forget that it all started with a mouse.